to discuss Iran's recent actions to bring back the balance to the JCPOA here in the VIC. It is worth mentioning that due to the rules and procedures of the Board of Governors, every member of the agency, including members to the Board of Governors, can request a board meeting. Yet it is a sad irony that this meeting was convened by the request of the United States. The regime, which has illegally and unilaterally withdrawn from the JCPOA and has violated all its commitments under the deal, to discuss implementation of Iran's commitments. The United States has not only withdrawn from the JCPOA and violated its own commitments, but through political and economic pressure, prevents international community, states and private entities to implement their commitments towards Iran. This U.S. behavior, which is in the defiance of international law, not only make normal business relations with Iran, which is the goal of the JCPOA, difficult, but also contrary to the U.S. claims, directly and negatively affects the humanitarian transactions, inability of humanitarian organizations and even Iranian expatriates to transfer their contributions during the recent devastating floods in Iran is a clear example. The United States has imposed economic terrorism against some states, including through imposition of sanctions and extraterritorial application of them. The sadistic tendency of the United States to use illegal unilateral sanctions as an instrument to coerce sovereign states and private entities should come to an end. The United States' destructive actions and adoption and application of the doomed-to-fail policy of maximum pressure is the main cause of current situation and Iran's decisions to bring back the balance to the JCPOA. Iran's actions are in line of the remedial clauses incorporated in the JCPOA and are taken in order to restore the long-lost balance of the implementation of the commitments under the deal. Unlike the United States, Iran has acted responsibly and has resorted to the civilized dispute resolution mechanism of the JCPOA, which resulted in 11 commitments of the remaining participants based on the JCPOA with regard of Iran incorporated initially stated in the 6th July joint statement of ministerial meeting of the Joint Commission of the JCPOA. Regrettably, mainly due to the United States' constant obstruction, disruption, and sabotage, no consequential practice outcome has been achieved, and the issues arising from the unilateral withdrawal of the U.S. remained unresolved. Therefore, the Islamic Republic of Iran left with no choice but to exercise its rights under remedial provisions of the deal, particularly paragraphs 26 and 36, in order to reestablish the long missing balance in the reciprocal commitments of the JCPOA. Let me touch some points regarding this meeting of the Board of Governors. We have been informed that the United States has approached many delegations before requesting to convene a special meeting of the Board of Governors, but no delegation welcomed the idea by the United States. They had to pay the cost to request this special meeting themselves. This is the first point, because President Trump has always said that the nuclear deal is the worst deal in international arena. How come that if it is the worst deal, now they are concerned about non-implementation or ceasing implementation of some parts of Iran's obligation under the deal? If it is a deal, if it is a good deal, and if they are interested, why they have withdrawn and why they are pushing the others to follow suit? This is the first point. The second point is that the majority of the delegations deplored the unilateral withdrawal of the United States at this session meeting of the Board of Governors, and they supported the preservation of the JCPOA and also deplored the unilateralism. The majority of the board members and also the observer member states requested all parties to the JCPOA to implement their own obligations under the deal full and effectively. The majority in the board actually made it very clear that these issues are not safeguards-related issues. These are obligations and issues related to the implementation of the JCPOA, and the Board of Governors is not an appropriate forum to discuss these issues that are not related to the IAEA and the safeguard obligations of Iran. So this was also was made very, very clear by a majority of the members in the meeting of the Board of Governors. The last but not the least is there was no formal outcome of this meeting. That was the intention of the United States actually to have some formal outcome, even there was no conclusion by the chair of the Board of Governors, because it was the precedent in the sessions of the Board of Governors. At least we had the conclusion by the chair of the Board of Governors summarizing the remarks of all delegations, but even because it was a ridiculous request by the United States and it was not welcomed by even a single delegation, there was no conclusion for this Board of Governors. Thank you very much.